Hi everyone, Wendy Anderson, justbe.me. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for listening. Please share, like and subscribe. You know, if this video is bringing a little bit of clarity or comfort to you, then share the love. In this video I wanted to talk about protesters and what we can learn as individuals from the protesting archetype. So the reason why a person would want to protest is because they've got a fear of not being heard. So the reason where this fear may come from may be an experience in this life that as a child they may not have been listened to. It could be formed from a past life where they've not been listened to, where they may have even lost their life for speaking their truth. I do a lot of past life therapies, and the amount of tongues that have been cut out, you know, from slaves and things that have spoken up. So, you know, there are a lot of fears around speaking truths. There are a lot of fears around not being listened to that we carry with us in our DNA and our behaviours. So, fear of not being listened, fear of not being heard. So there is this archetype probably in many of us. So if you've been in an argument or a conversation where you've had to raise your voice and you've shouted and got louder and louder, then you've got a fear of not being heard. So as an individual, how can I take this and learn from it? How can I apply this in my everyday life to make life more comfortable and easier for myself? How can I learn from the protester or the activist? So, as a spouse, you know, am I listening to my other half? Are they listening to me? Children, am I listening to my children's wants, needs and dreams? If not, your children may end up with a sore throat. Am I, as an employer, listening to my employees? Do I allow them to have a voice freely without ridicule, without being shouted back, without being made to feel guilty for speaking their truth? How am I treating my employees? Am I treating them with humanity and love and respect and compassion? Or am I treating them in a fear path that, you know, everything, I've got my controlled state at the moment, everything at work is how it is and I'm okay with that and I'm happy with that. Somebody bringing in a different perspective means that I've got to bring a change in, and I'm fearful of change. So you as an employer, you may yourself be in fear of losing control, maybe fear of change, of stepping out of your own comfort zone in listening to people. So it's just having a level of awareness in your life as to where I am being compassionate and loving, or as to where I am being fearful. And we apply this every day into relationships, in the workplace, in the household. So the protester has some valuable and beautiful lessons for us to observe. So kind of super gluing yourself to an MP's face to be heard is very, you know, it's very on the real end of the spectrum. But we have all experienced some level of this spectrum of fear of not being heard. So before it has to escalate to get to the point of supergluing people feeling like they need to superglue themselves to various places, you know, can we show compassion to people that feel like they are not being listened to so much that they have to really kind of hold extreme measures? Can we give people a voice on a one-to-one level and on a society level? Can we give people a voice? And it's really interesting how these protests are basically springing up to coincide with a level of the level of censorship through social media and other kind of like voice platforms that we've got. So it stands to reason, if people are feeling that they're not being heard, then it's going to escalate. So can we allow it not to escalate to levels of violence, to levels of ridicule, to levels of abusive systems for people that just want to speak their opinions and speak their own truth? You don't, and when somebody is voicing an opinion or speaking an opinion and it doesn't match yours, then can we appreciate that this person in front of us that has a different opinion has travelled a different path, has chosen a different journey from ours, but that journey still has validity. Why would we cancel it out? Every single person's journey, even though different to ours, has validity because it gives a wider perspective of a whole. Everyone being different allows a whole. If we were all the same, it would be really dull, really boring, and we'd all have the same perspective and our relationships would be. So it's okay for people to hold different opinions. Acknowledge when we are being fearful of other people's different opinions, and it's because basically it may rock your world, that it may rock where you are sitting, so it may change something within you. And is it because you are holding a fear of change, which is really difficult at the moment because the whole planet is changing. We are experiencing changes on multiple levels, so it's fear of change. So just have some level of awareness of how you are listening, how you are giving people a voice, how you react to people's voices, and do I have fear around communication or do I have love and compassion around communication? This can have an application in our everyday lives. So thank you for the protesters and the activists, because you have valuable lessons for the rest of humanity to learn from. So thank you out there. And it's not saying I agree with it or disagree with it, but I'm just saying how I see it and how I am looking at it and how I am viewing it and how I can see in everyday things what teachings can I obtain from every single one of you. You are my biggest and most beautiful teachers. So I thank every single one of you for teaching me something, and I thank every single one of you for your differences. I thank every single one of you for taking all of these different tough journeys that you are taking. I love it. Thank you for being different. Thank you for being unique. I love you. Take care, everyone. Enjoy your day. Have an amazing day. Fill it with love and compassion. Have some awareness around fear. And it's okay if you do. That's fine. Just have some awareness of how you are being. Take care, everyone. Love you all. Bye.